If I asked you to name the best AI stock, there's a good chance you'd answer Nvidia. It's an incredible company. But here's what most investors miss. Nvidia is just one floor in a massive skyscraper. AI doesn't exist because of one company. Every AI prompt you type begins a journey through power plants, electrical grids, data centers, cooling systems, semiconductor factories, networking equipment, memory chips, cloud platforms, and finally, the AI models you interact with. Miss one layer, and the entire system stops working. Today, we're going to build that AI skyscraper from the ground up and uncover the companies quietly making billions while most investors focus on only one name. Along the way, you'll learn which businesses dominate each layer, why they have competitive advantages, and how understanding the complete AI ecosystem can help you become a smarter long-term investor. Our required disclaimer. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be considered financial, investment, tax, legal, or accounting advice. Imagine constructing the world's tallest skyscraper. You wouldn't start with the penthouse. You'd pour the foundation first. AI works exactly the same way. At the very bottom sits electricity. Above that comes grid infrastructure, then massive data centers, cooling systems, semiconductor manufacturing, GPUs, high-speed memory, networking, cloud platforms, AI models, enterprise software, and finally, the applications millions of people use every day. Every layer depends on the one beneath it. That's why investors who only buy AI software may be overlooking where much of the money is actually made. Throughout this video, we'll climb each level of the stack, showing how billions of dollars flow upward through this ecosystem, and why some of the biggest winners aren't household names.
Hello, if you're new to the channel, I'm Dave Karpinski. Yes, I am a real person behind this. I bring more than 40 years of global consulting and executive leadership experience, working at some of the world's most respected consulting organizations, including McKinsey & Company, Accenture, Ernst & Young, IBM, Infosys, Cognizant, and SAP. Throughout my career, I've advised hundreds of C-suite executives and led large-scale business transformations for Fortune 500 companies and major public sector organizations, including Google, Nike, Lockheed Martin, Disney, Costco, government agencies, the military, defense organizations, and leading technology companies. I hold a PhD, an MBA, PMP, and ProSci certifications, along with multiple SAP certifications. Everything you see on this channel is built on real-world experience. While I use AI to enhance research, visuals, and production, the ideas, strategies, analysis, and insights come from decades of hands-on consulting and leadership. My goal is simple: help you understand AI, business, technology, leadership, and investing through practical, experience-backed advice you can actually apply. I'm glad you're here, and I hope you'll join me on the journey.
Every AI image, chatbot response, and video starts with one thing: electricity. Training a single cutting-edge AI model can consume enough power to supply thousands of homes, and global electricity demand from AI data centers is expected to rise dramatically over the next decade. That's creating opportunities for companies that generate reliable power around the clock. Vistra combines nuclear, natural gas, and renewable generation, giving it flexibility as demand grows. Constellation Energy operates one of the largest fleets of carbon-free nuclear plants in the United States, making it a key supplier for always-on AI computing. GE Vernova builds the turbines and grid equipment needed to expand generation, while NextEra Energy remains a leader in renewable energy development. Before investors chase the newest AI software, it's worth remembering that without electricity, none of it exists. Generating electricity is only half the challenge. It has to reach enormous AI campuses safely and reliably. That's where grid infrastructure companies become essential. Eaton manufactures switchgear, breakers, power management systems, and electrical equipment found throughout modern data centers. Vertiv specializes in backup power systems, battery storage, and integrated electrical infrastructure designed specifically for mission-critical computing. Quanta Services builds and upgrades the transmission lines connecting power plants to expanding AI campuses, while Powell Industries provides highly specialized electrical distribution equipment for industrial facilities. Think of these companies as building the highways that deliver electricity. Without transformers, substations, and resilient power distribution, even the world's fastest AI chips would sit idle, waiting for power. AI doesn't run inside office buildings. It runs inside enormous digital factories called hyperscale data centers. These campuses can span hundreds of acres and house hundreds of thousands of servers operating around the clock. Equinix is one of the world's largest data center operators, connecting businesses to cloud providers through strategically located facilities across multiple continents. Digital Realty owns and develops massive campuses used by hyperscalers and enterprise customers alike. Iron Mountain has expanded beyond document storage into high-value digital infrastructure, while Applied Digital focuses on next-generation AI and high-performance computing facilities. As artificial intelligence grows, demand isn't simply for more servers, it's for entirely new cities dedicated to computing. Powerful AI chips generate extraordinary amounts of heat. A modern AI server packed with advanced GPUs can consume several times more electricity than traditional servers, and nearly every watt eventually becomes heat that must be removed. That's why cooling has become one of the fastest-growing segments of AI infrastructure. Vertiv has emerged as a leader in liquid cooling systems designed specifically for high-density AI workloads. Modine develops advanced thermal management technologies used in demanding industrial environments. Trane and Carrier bring decades of expertise in commercial HVAC while expanding into sophisticated data center cooling solutions. Tomorrow's AI race won't simply be about building faster chips. It will also be about keeping those chips cool enough to perform at maximum speed. When people think about AI chips, they usually picture Nvidia, but Nvidia doesn't actually manufacture its processors. That responsibility belongs to an entire ecosystem of specialized companies. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, or TSMC, fabricates the world's most advanced chips for companies including Nvidia, AMD, Apple, and many others. ASML builds the extraordinary, extreme ultraviolet lithography machines required to produce leading-edge semiconductors, technology so advanced that few competitors can match it. Applied Materials supplies equipment used throughout wafer production, while Lam Research and KLA provide critical fabrication and inspection systems. Together they form one of the strongest competitive moats in technology. Without this manufacturing ecosystem, the AI revolution simply couldn't happen. Now we finally reached the companies most investors recognize. Nvidia dominates AI training with its powerful GPU architecture, CUDA software ecosystem, and networking technologies, giving it an advantage that extends well beyond hardware alone. AMD continues gaining ground with competitive AI accelerators and deep relationships across enterprise computing. Broadcom provides custom AI chips and networking silicon that many hyperscale customers increasingly rely upon, while Marvell develops specialized processors and connectivity solutions optimized for cloud infrastructure. Although GPUs often receive the headlines, each company serves a different part of the market. Understanding those differences helps investors see why AI demand can benefit several companies simultaneously, rather than creating a single winner. Even the world's fastest GPU becomes inefficient if it has to wait for data. That's why advanced memory has become one of AI's biggest bottlenecks. High bandwidth memory, or HBM, allows AI processors to move enormous amounts of information at incredible speeds. Micron has become one of the leading suppliers of next-generation HBM products, powering advanced AI systems. SK Hynix established an early leadership position in HBM technology and supplies many of today's highest-performance AI platforms. Samsung continues investing aggressively across both memory manufacturing and advanced packaging. As AI models become larger and more complex, memory is evolving from a supporting component into one of the industry's most strategically important technologies. Building a supercomputer isn't simply about connecting thousands of GPUs together. Those processors must communicate almost instantly, sharing massive datasets without creating bottlenecks. That's where AI networking becomes indispensable. Arista Networks has become a favorite among hyperscale cloud providers because of its ultra-fast Ethernet switches and software-defined networking expertise. Cisco remains a global networking leader, expanding aggressively into AI-ready infrastructure for enterprises and cloud providers alike. Broadcom supplies the advanced switching chips that move enormous amounts of data through modern AI clusters. In many ways, networking is the nervous system of artificial intelligence. Faster communication means GPUs spend more time computing and less time waiting, dramatically increasing the efficiency of billion-dollar AI infrastructure investments. Once data centers are built, they cannot operate like isolated islands. They need to move data across cities, countries, and continents at enormous speed. That is where fiber and connectivity companies come in. Corning is a key player, because it makes the optical fiber and cable used to carry high-speed data. Ciena provides networking equipment that helps telecoms and cloud providers move massive amounts of traffic more efficiently. Lumen is more controversial, but it owns valuable long-haul fiber routes that may become more important as AI traffic grows. The key investor lesson is simple. AI is not only compute, it is movement. The faster data moves, the more useful AI becomes. Most businesses will never build their own AI data center. They will rent AI power from the cloud. That makes Amazon, Microsoft, Alphabet, and Oracle critical players. Microsoft has a major advantage through Azure and its OpenAI relationship. Amazon Web Services remains one of the most profitable cloud platforms in the world. Alphabet brings Google Cloud, DeepMind, Gemini, and decades of AI research. Oracle is interesting because its cloud infrastructure is growing quickly and attracting large AI workloads. Cloud companies are powerful because they sit between the expensive infrastructure layer and the paying customer. They buy the chips, build the data centers, and then rent intelligence by the hour. Now we reach the intelligence layer. AI models are the engines that turn raw computing power into answers, images, code, analysis, and automation. Microsoft benefits through its OpenAI partnership and by embedding AI into Office, Azure, GitHub, and enterprise workflows. Alphabet has Gemini, DeepMind, YouTube, Search, and one of the deepest AI research benches in the world. Meta is powerful because it has massive data, open source AI momentum, and billions of users across Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. Amazon brings AI into AWS, shopping, logistics, and Alexa. The important point is this. Models are not just technology, they are distribution weapons. Consumer AI gets the attention, but enterprise AI is where businesses write serious checks. Palantir is one of the most interesting names because it helps governments and corporations turn messy data into operational decisions. Salesforce is embedding AI into sales, marketing, and customer service workflows. ServiceNow uses AI to automate internal business processes like IT, HR, and operations. SAP matters because it sits directly inside finance, supply chain, procurement, manufacturing, and enterprise data. This layer is valuable because companies do not just want chatbots. They want AI connected to real workflows, real approvals, real customers, and real money. AI makes companies more productive, but it also makes attackers more dangerous. Phishing gets more realistic, malware adapts faster, fake identities become harder to detect. That is why cybersecurity may be one of the most durable AI investment layers. CrowdStrike is a leader in endpoint security and threat detection. Palo Alto Networks offers a broad platform across network, cloud, and AI-driven security. Fortinet brings strong firewall and enterprise security exposure, often with attractive profitability. Zscaler focuses on zero-trust security for cloud-first businesses. The simple idea is this. The more companies depend on AI, the more they must protect the systems running it. AI does not stop at screens. Eventually, it moves into the physical world. That is where robotics, automation, and industrial control become important. Rockwell Automation helps factories automate production lines. ABB provides robotics, electrification, and industrial automation around the world. Emerson is strong in process automation for industries like energy, chemicals, and manufacturing. Symbotic is a more aggressive growth name focused on warehouse automation, especially where speed and labor efficiency matter. This layer is about turning AI from a brain into a body. When AI can see, decide, and move, factories, warehouses, and supply chains start to change. A modern car is becoming a rolling AI computer. Tesla is the best-known name because it combines vehicles, cameras, software, data collection, chips, and full self-driving ambition under one ecosystem. Mobileye focuses on driver assistance and autonomous driving technology used by automakers around the world. Qualcomm provides automotive chips, connectivity, and digital cockpit platforms. Nvidia supplies powerful computing platforms for autonomous driving, simulation, and vehicle AI. The opportunity is not just self-driving taxis. It is safer cars, smarter logistics, fleet automation, insurance data, mapping, and eventually vehicles that improve through software instead of only mechanical upgrades. This is the layer most everyday users will actually touch. Adobe is adding generative AI into creative tools for images, video, design, and marketing. Autodesk brings AI into engineering, architecture, manufacturing, and construction workflows. HubSpot uses AI to help small and mid-sized businesses with marketing, sales, content, and customer management. Intuit applies AI to taxes, accounting, small business finance, and personal money decisions. These companies are attractive because they already have customers, workflows, subscriptions, and data. They do not need to convince people to use software. They need to make existing software smarter, faster, and harder to cancel. We've climbed all 16 layers of the AI ecosystem, but not every layer earns money the same way. Utilities generally produce steady cash flows but slower growth. Grid infrastructure and data center builders often benefit from multi-year capital spending cycles as AI capacity expands. Semiconductor equipment and chip companies can experience explosive growth, but they also tend to be more cyclical and sensitive to valuation. Cloud providers combine enormous scale with recurring revenue, while enterprise software companies often enjoy some of the highest profit margins because each additional subscription costs very little to deliver. Rather than asking which layer will win, I prefer asking which layers complement one another. AI is an ecosystem, and different parts of that ecosystem can lead during different stages of the cycle. No investment theme rises in a straight line, and artificial intelligence will be no exception. The first risk is electricity. If power generation and grid expansion fail to keep pace, new AI data centers could face delays. Next comes semiconductor supply. Advanced chips still depend on a relatively small number of manufacturers and suppliers, creating potential bottlenecks. Geopolitics also matters because Taiwan remains central to global chip production. Add recession risk, tighter AI regulation, excessive data center construction, and periods when valuations become detached from fundamentals and volatility becomes inevitable. I don't view these as reasons to avoid AI. I view them as reasons to stay diversified across the stack and keep cash available when exceptional companies temporarily become discounted. Instead of trying to guess which single company becomes the biggest winner, I prefer owning the ecosystem itself. Think of it as building your own AI infrastructure fund. My goal is exposure across every major layer, from electricity and grid infrastructure all the way to cloud computing and enterprise AI. That means balancing foundational companies that generate reliable cash flow with faster-growing technology leaders. Different investors will choose different allocations based on age, risk tolerance, and investing goals, but the principle stays the same. When you own multiple layers, one temporary slowdown doesn't necessarily derail your entire portfolio. You're investing in the long-term expansion of artificial intelligence, not making an all-or-nothing bet on a single stock. We've climbed every layer of the AI ecosystem, but if I were building a watch list today, these are the companies I'd study first in each category. Constellation Energy leads my power generation list because reliable electricity has become one of AI's greatest needs. Eaton stands out in grid infrastructure, while Equinix is my top choice for hyperscale data center development. Vertiv remains the leader in AI power and cooling systems that keep high-density GPU clusters running around the clock. TSMC manufactures many of the world's most advanced AI chips, making it one of the most important companies in the entire ecosystem. Nvidia continues to dominate AI computing through its GPUs, CUDA software platform, and networking technologies. Micron is one of my favorite memory companies as demand for high-bandwidth memory continues to accelerate. Corning plays a critical role by supplying the fiber optic infrastructure that moves massive amounts of AI data around the world. Microsoft leads cloud infrastructure through Azure, while Alphabet remains one of the strongest AI model developers with Gemini, DeepMind, and decades of AI research. Palantir is my top enterprise AI company because it helps organizations turn data into real operational decisions. Palo Alto Networks remains my cybersecurity leader as AI makes digital threats more sophisticated. Symbotic stands out in robotics by bringing AI into warehouse automation, while Tesla leads autonomous vehicle development through its vertically integrated AI driving platform. Finally, Adobe is my favorite AI software company, embedding generative AI into tools that millions of creative professionals already use every day. Everything we've discussed isn't just theory, it's exactly how I've built my own AI portfolio. Today, roughly 25% is invested in Nvidia, because I believe it remains the leader in AI computing. Broadcom represents 15% thanks to its strength in networking, custom silicon, and enterprise infrastructure. Microsoft also makes up 15% because of Azure, Copilot, OpenAI, and its unmatched enterprise footprint. Amazon and Alphabet each account for 10%, giving me broad exposure to cloud infrastructure, AI models, and enormous AI ecosystems. TSMC represents 8% because it manufactures many of the world's most advanced AI chips. I also own Vertiv at 5%, Arista Networks at 4%, Constellation Energy at 3%, Micron at 3%, and Oracle at 2%. Together, these positions give me exposure across electricity, infrastructure, cooling, semiconductor manufacturing, GPUs, memory, networking, cloud computing, and enterprise AI. I don't own every great AI company because every portfolio has limits. My objective is concentrated exposure to the strongest parts of the AI ecosystem while avoiding unnecessary overlap. Not every outstanding AI company fits neatly into a single layer of the stack. Some operate across multiple categories, while others are enabling the AI revolution in unique ways. Oracle continues gaining momentum through AI cloud infrastructure and enterprise databases. Amazon combines AWS, custom AI chips, logistics, and AI-powered commerce under one ecosystem. Alphabet spans cloud computing, AI models, search, YouTube, Waymo, and custom silicon. Meta is driving open-source AI through Llama, while leveraging billions of users across its platforms. AMD continues challenging Nvidia with increasingly competitive AI accelerators, while Marvell develops custom AI processors and high-speed connectivity solutions for hyperscalers. Applied Materials, Lam Research, and KLA remain indispensable to semiconductor manufacturing, even though most consumers have never heard their names. Quanta Services is helping expand the electrical grid needed to power tomorrow's AI infrastructure, while Ciena enables the optical networking that keeps AI data moving across continents. The lesson is simple: the AI opportunity extends far beyond the most recognizable names. Some of tomorrow's biggest winners may not build chatbots or AI models at all. They may simply provide the critical infrastructure that makes the entire ecosystem possible. Most people think AI begins with ChatGPT. Now you know that's actually the final step in a much larger system. Every AI request starts at a power plant. Electricity travels across transmission lines into massive data centers. Cooling systems keep thousands of servers operating safely. Semiconductor equipment manufactures the chips. GPU designers create the computing engines. High bandwidth memory feeds those processors. Networking moves data between thousands of machines. Fiber connects AI infrastructure around the world. Cloud providers rent that computing power. AI models create intelligence. Enterprise software puts AI into real business workflows. Cybersecurity protects everything. Robotics and autonomous systems extend AI into the physical world. Finally, AI software reaches millions of everyday users. That's the complete AI investment stack. Instead of chasing whichever AI company dominates the headlines next month, think like an infrastructure investor. Own the businesses building the foundation of the AI economy, because foundations often create the most enduring wealth. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. See you in the next video.